Hello, everybody. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. This is going to be an interesting video today. Yesterday, I noticed that a person laughed at one of my comments. So I always go investigate. I want to find out who that is. Especially if I think it's somebody rude. Maybe it's somebody who was involved in the pedophile parties or the oil show parties, the forced prostitution, the murder of Mike Lawhon, the murder of the little girl at the oil show party, the capital murder 10 Mile Life, or the many other crimes, around here, the rigging of homes and breaking into homes all over the place. And so anyways, I was surprised to find out that was a dispatcher for the Midland Police Department. I thought, oh, that's interesting. So I went and sent him a private message to her, and because I thought, I bet a dispatcher would have information other people wouldn't have. That one, maybe when calls come in and the crime victims are reporting people in the attic, they've got somebody with a gun that's rigged their home and breaking in their home to steal and kill. Well, they call the dispatcher, right? And I wonder if the dispatcher has been told to one, to label them as crazy, knowing that they're not, to destroy their life with lies, so they can cover up this racketeering, this rigging these homes for burglary, theft, and murder, and so I don't know that, but it makes sense. The other thing is, I bet, all these homes that I've identified, I just happened to hear, on my scanner. Just think about all the ones that I didn't hear, when I wasn't here and my scanner wasn't on or wasn't listening. I got a feeling there's 100 homes or more that are rigged here in Midland, Odessa. I lived here 2 years before I figured out this home was rigged, and then that's when it gets dangerous, because that's when they try to murder you. So anyways, here I'm going to go over, really where this started. This is the Odessa Midland Police Scanners Group, and I'm back in it, but I can't post on the I can't post a scanner video, and so I believe there's an admin for this group here that is, for whatever reason, trying to cover up the crimes and murders here in Midland. I mean, that's real obvious to me, and maybe they have some, maybe they were at one of the parties, the underground parties, or for whatever reason, it looks like they're trying to censor the crime victim, and and it just leaves the other citizens of Midland, the unknowing public, they're not being warned by the press or by the police that we have this widespread racketeering going on, crime of these people rigging private homes and breaking into them to steal and to kill and all the other crimes that go along with it. So anyways, here was this post. It said, "Can I listen to Odessa Scanner on an app?" Okay, because this is a scanner group. And they reply, and I know the answer already. No, you can't, because it's encrypted. All Odessa and Ector County is encrypted. And that's what Barbara says here. It's scrambled since 8/20/19. MPD DPS MCS. Yes, you can on the 50 app for Midland Public Safety. So a lot of people, I have a scanner, a physical hardware scanner, but you can go on the internet and download an application for a scanner, And then Nathan, he's really the expert here, this guy is, and he tells her, no, Midland Sheriff Office is encrypted, and he's right about that, and so anyways, they're going on, and so I comment and I said, before they were encrypted, before Odessa was encrypted and Ector County, I was recording police scanner calls and posting them to my YouTube channel, and I suspect they found many of them embarrassing and or illegal. I believe that is the real reason they were encrypted, since they already had secure and private channels. This playlist contains many of these older calls. Okay, and so then I put a link to the playlist, and then I saw somebody laugh at it going, oh, that was funny. Yeah, it's funny murdering little girls. And that's where I saw, and right here, the person has blocked me, so you can't see the name there, but I'll show you here in a minute. I'll show you our messages and everything. These are the people who just clicked like on it. And so I'm going to get to that here in a minute. What I want to show you first here, Chesney T. Smith. That was the person that laughed at it, thought that was funny, And so then I went and looked, and that's where I saw, well, okay, here, who is this person? I mean, maybe she has something to do with the pedophile parties or something. And then I'm like, wow, it's a dispatcher at the Midland Police Department. I bet she has information, and she's from my hometown of Hobbs, New Mexico. Isn't that interesting? And so I also look at the mutual friends, because I'm thinking, hey, here's a Heather Brown and Sheila LaRue Reagan, and I know who that is too, and with links back to my hometown. Okay. Very interesting. So then I'm gonna comment, but first I'm going to show you here I want to go to my YouTube channel, and that's where I'm at. If you go to playlist, and this is what I was talking about. Here's these playlists. A lot of them are old, but this one says police scanner videos right here. Okay, and that's the one I was talking about right there. This is the one that has the old ones in there, that has the Odessa, back when Odessa wasn't encrypted. And that's what I was telling them, that they encrypted them channels. And I believe that the reason they did is because I was recording these and posting them on the internet, and they were getting a lot of attention. These back, look at this, is 2015. This is a call. This is a Midland call, but it's somebody in the attic. And of course, I have recent ones in Midland for people in the attic too. But I want to show you here. Here's a whole long list here. And some of these, here's the chief of police here of Midland. This is the Midland chief of police.
14, that'll be no, because what I don't know won't hurt me.
That was Dirty Cop Secret Police Rosie Rodriguez talking to the former chief of police, and our chief of police saying, what I don't know won't hurt me. If they're murdering little girls and dismembering crime victims, if I don't know about it, it won't hurt me. That's kind of how I took that. This one, MISD teacher-student allegation right there. I think that's where they were trying to entrap a parent. Can I use your password for this police report? Don't you think that should be news? And I mean, that's where I'm going. There was a whole bunch of them. They were sharing passwords and breaking into homes. I've got all kinds of interesting calls in here, and in this list, they're old calls, and that's why I think that they. That they blocked them, the Odessa, encrypted Odessa channels. I've long suspected that they, as soon as they had money, they'd be encrypting the Midland channels, because Midland has been hiding, these people in the attic. And I'm going to show you that here in a minute, And so let's get back to Chesney, right? Or what their name is. What was their name was? Chesney, okay, and here I wrote her yesterday at 4:41, and I sent her a list of these homes in Midland, Odessa, a great number of homes, people reporting the attic, and I said, I saw you laughing at my Facebook post, and then noticed that you're a dispatcher, so I had a question for you that is related to multiple murders and crimes here in Midland. Also noticed that you're from my hometown of Hobbs, New Mexico. In 2008, I transferred to Midland from Hobbs with DCP Midstream. It was a 25-year company, man. And I bought a home behind the Home Depot store where the young previous owner, Mike Lawhan, just died. I was told it was an accident, but I've since found evidence which has convinced me that he was murdered here and taken to Fort Worth. That happened the week before the 2008 oil show started. In 2010, my friend from work, Angie Mungia Hurley, told me about a young girl that was murdered at a party going on during the Permian Basin International Oil Show. She was leaving my home and at those parties in 5 minutes, so I have reason to believe they were happening in some million-dollar underground homes that multiple people are documented as saying are near here, with one of them being a recent candidate for sheriff who I recorded telling me that was the hideout for Sheriff Painter. That was Joe Lozano, who was running for sheriff, and I secretly recorded him earlier this year. I first reported somebody in the attic of my home in January 2011, and a year later I was ambushed and shot with burglar alarms going off in my attic with my phone lines cut. That's premeditated, cold-blooded murder is what that was. This home invasion and violent crime left me disabled and ended my 28-year career. When the would-be killers under my home pulled the trigger, all I had was this crazy story, but that isn't the case anymore. And it now looks like there was police under my home. Maybe some corrupt police in Midland tried to murder me inside my own home as I was under a home invasion during a burglary. I've documented homeowners all over Midland, Odessa, Texas, and many other states reporting people in the attic. Many of those are calls recorded from my police scanner, and maybe you took some of them because she's a dispatcher, right? Last year, I sent the City of Midland information request and asked for a list of all citizens that had reported people in the attic in the last 10 years, and City Attorney Gates replied back that MPD said there was none. I have the police report for when I did, and I have all of those recorded phone calls. So it looks like we have some people lying to cover up these many homes that are rigged for burglary, theft, and murder. I've documented over a dozen homes just in Midland, Odessa, but obviously there's a lot more that I didn't just happen to hear about on my scanner where the owners reported somebody in the attic. So I thought I would ask you, a dispatcher. It makes sense that the people in this gang has murdered other innocent people too, so you can see how this is nothing to laugh about. Oh yeah, in 2013, the remains of a young girl that was 14 to 21 years old was found outside of Midland. And it makes sense that was the young girl that was murdered at the underground oil show party, which is believed that Painter and other police were at. I suspect that would be a death penalty case, but it looks like they've killed others too. If you can think of some other homes where the owners reported people in the attic that isn't on this list, then I'd really appreciate hearing about that. That information might just save lives. And I put a link to videos that are fact-filled, evidence-filled videos, so she knew that, hey, this ain't just talk. This is backed up with hard evidence and facts here, And then a link to the people in the attic video showing all these calls. And of course, she's a dispatcher, so I'm sure she might even took some of them calls. Okay. Here she replies back, if you have any questions, I'm not an officer, I'm a dispatcher, I cannot advise you of the law, but you're more than welcome to call non-emergency, and then you advise them and they can advise you of the law and your rights. Have a great day. And I write back, I didn't contact you as a law enforcement officer, but as a stranger that laughed when I posted evidence on several capital murders. If you happen to remember anything that might stop these killers, that'd be greatly appreciated. Again, if you have any questions, I'm not an officer, I'm a dispatcher, I can advise you the law, but you're more than welcome to call, okay? And so, I wonder if, that's where you start asking these questions. Is this dispatcher, has she been ordered to hide these crimes from, even from when she calls them out over the radio, knowing that they are going to get recorded and posted, on the internet, and oh, we don't want the public to find out there's homes all over rigged and people are reporting people in the attic, we don't want to find out that homeowners are being murdered when they report people in the attic, or whatever. And so, as I showed you that, there's that long list here. Let me see where else I got here. Okay. Here I want to show you. This is an email that I sent to the City of Midland. And here's the date. It's July 10th, 2018. And I actually sent it to the Chief of Police, current Chief of Police Seth Herman, and then the former mayor and city council. Some of them are still on the city council, but most of them are gone. And so basically, burglary, habitation, theft of services at my home. I give them a little short history, and I attach 50 videos of burglar alarms going off in my home. 50 of them, okay? And that's not even all of them, that's me, that has been the just incredible amount of crime that has gone on, And here was like one of the videos that I attached in there. I'm in the bathtub here taking a bath. And I'm making a video of my foot, show everybody. This is only 17 seconds. There, the burglar alarm goes off. All the time. That's what I'm saying, And so there's like 50 of them, to prove that. And, and then I got blocked. That's what happened. The chief of police blocked me. The mayor blocked me. I couldn't send them the emails no more, and then the second one I'll show you here is last year. Okay. And this was in May of last year. I sent a request for the information. You go online and you can do that. And one of the things I asked for was a list of all 911 calls for the last 10 years with homeowners reporting somebody in the attic, That's a fair request. They're paid by taxpayers' dollars, right? They're supposed to respond truthfully with it, but they didn't. And then the city attorney Gates, Stephen Gates, he writes back and he says, according to the MPD, Midland Police Department, the enclosed record is the only record city's possession. And it wasn't anything to do with any homeowners reporting people in the attic. So city attorney Gates told me that the Midland Police Department says nobody has ever reported anybody in the attic in the last 10 years. That's what he said, and that was in May of last year. Okay, literally. Let me show you here. This is their police reports. This is my first call for a burglary in 2010. Okay, and that wasn't for anybody in my attic. That was just somebody. I recognized somebody as my house, and here they were already calling me crazy. Compliant, possible 1096. Here I was a 27-year company man, homeowner, granddad. I noticed somebody was inside my home. home, and they're destroying my life with these lies. And I wonder if if we got some corrupt dispatchers that are also, because you'll hear on the police scanner calls that the dispatcher is already labeling the crime victim, the complainant that's called police because they're under a home invasion, a burglary, right? They're already being labeled as crazy when the dispatcher calls the police. You'll hear that recorded on them calls. My first call for somebody in the attic was January 8, 2011. And remember, that's what I was telling that dispatcher here, okay? Can hear noises in the attic. Okay, well, how can the City of Midland say ain't nobody's ever called in the last 10 years and I've got a police report? I can give you there's the police report number on it. What, they don't have that anymore, or are they trying to hide that? And I think that's what it is. And this time they didn't say possible. Oh, they just labeled me as crazy, because that is modus operandi for covering up these crimes. I think it's connected to human trafficking. I think they're probably getting a kickback off of it. Probably sex trafficking too. That's my guess. I don't have proof. This is the night that I'm ambushed and shot a year later. And I'm at the hospital. The nurse is making notes. And here, Rosie Rodriguez, the detective, is in the room at 12:03. Okay, right when I'm telling all this stuff. And what I'm saying is the sirens are going off. The alarms kept going off. Them alarms were burglar alarms in my attic, like the one we heard. Burglar alarms were going off in my attic, and I was ambushed and shot with my phone lines cut. And it even looks like it may have been some police that tried to murder me in my home when I was under a home invasion. Okay, and we now know there's a burglar trapped in my bathroom, and maybe they were working with the burglars, so they were trying to murder their way out of it. That's what it looks like, is that they were working with these burglars that are breaking into homes. So that's why they're covering up these crimes. Okay, I want to show you here. I installed a Vivint alarm system in my attic, literally. Paid over $1,000 so I could prove these crimes were going on here. At that time, I didn't have all these other homeowners, documented. And so here on 12/9/12, this is, the same year that MS shot, at the end of the year, alarms in the attic. Homeowner thinks there's somebody in the attic. Okay, actually, my Vivint alarm system in my attic went into alarm and dispatched the police here. Okay, this police report was hidden from me for 7 years, along with the one from the night of the murder attempt. And I believe the reason is because they changed this alarm call to a warrant call. They were going to arrest me because my Vivint alarm system, I recognized somebody was breaking into my home, and then they changed it, and then they turned the warrant back into an alarm call. Okay, but you can see that they were going to arrest the crime victim, the crippled crime victim at that time. Okay, and Michael Chandler was on that call. That's the husband of April Chandler. She's one of the main secret police caught planting evidence, lying on police reports in the capital murder attempt on my life. When I was ambushed and shot. But once again, the City of Midland, according to City Attorney Gates and the Midland Police Department, says nobody's ever reported anybody in the attic the last 10 years. And I got these police reports saying I did, Vivint did, okay? And here we go. Here's afraid somebody's in the attic. Once again, this is a Vivint call, and this is on December 19, 2012. And on this call, Chad Simpson's on there. He's the police officer that murdered his wife and killed himself 2 months after Secret Police Naylor died. He was one of the secret police that was caught inside my house on camera. Took 6 years to get identified. Goes on to murder his wife, allegedly. Okay. And thinks people on the walls. That was Bracken that said that. So here's another police report. And keep in mind that all this time, the Midland Police is saying that nobody's ever reported, and the press is hiding these crimes from the public. I was wanting to know, because especially a dispatcher, I'm thinking, hey, maybe she would know other homes that are rigged. Maybe there's other people been murdered, right?
The woman is facing charges after police say she burned down her home to get rid of someone who she claimed was in the attic.
That's Carlsbad.
Complainant saying she can hear someone up in the attic. Smells cigarette smoke. She took her family. They're going to be waiting out front.
316 should be left.
That's Odessa. That's encrypted now.
That he heard someone in the attic.
That's why we don't get any more in Odessa.
Complainant's going to be a 7-year-old male. So he can hear yelling and fighting. His mother's in the attic. He can hear her being assaulted.
1096. They called her crazy. Police ain't even there yet. Police didn't even look. See the dispatch. I wonder if that's Chesney.
You know, it was reported that you heard voices in the attic.
They were identified as 19 in their attic.
24-3-34-27, we check both here, 2903 Chelsea Place. Place. The convention bush, they check both her on her daughter, Jennifer. The daughter keeps sending her messages and saying that there's someone in her attic.
Okay, and so once again, them last two calls were just within the last couple of months, and I spoke to that last one to Jennifer right there, and see they were trying to get her to go in and get a CAT scan because somebody rigged her home and they're breaking in her home and terrorizing her. And I recorded her one night. I've got a video called "Terrorized Homeowner," and she is just bawling on the phone and saying, "I'm so friggin' scared," you know. And these people are just evil, you know. But I guess she's probably lucky to be alive, you know. I mean, you know, that's what I would say. Here's a list, and I just built a short list, people in the attic, so you can see why I would, you know, be asking this dispatcher. And truly the dispatcher is the one that clicked on my Facebook post, so she knows who I am, I'm sure, you know. But you know, and then oh, that's funny, murdered little girls, ha ha ha. Ain't that funny? Murdered one homeowner after another, huh? That reporting crime to the police. Ain't that funny, you know? Anyways, let's see if I got any more here. This one here was another very recent call here, burglar habitation, and this one doesn't call out the attic, but we're going to listen to it. And I think this might be an attic call. And that's why I was wondering if the dispatchers have been told that don't say that over the radio because it'll get recorded.
Check on a it's calling and saying that there's people coming to her house, but can't give a description on it.
Okay, and that's what I was saying. See, they're coming to her house, but you can't get a description to them. And then you'll hear on the next call where there's no forced entry, you know, and that's what happens. They're rigging these private homes. And then the old cover up, you know, these criminals are so smart. Oh, we can hack cameras. That gives us the right to murder people and steal their life insurance. No, it doesn't. Now, you know, I've already proved that you're hacking cameras. So when you go, how come you don't have any pictures of them? Because they're hacking the cameras. But I've got plenty evidence, you know, for these investigations. And so anyway, I thought you'd find that interesting here. And actually I didn't get a print screen of the last message to this Chesney, but I wrote her right before she blocked me, and I told her I tried to appeal to your humanity as a person. You know, they murdered the guy that lived here before me. They murdered a little girl, 14 to 21 years old. They tried to murder me, you know, and, you know, maybe you have evidence, you know, or maybe you have information that will help stop these killers. Talk to you later.